Changing your career in your 30s can feel pretty daunting. You've spent all this time working up to where you are now, that making a change now can feel like a big risk. In this video, I'm going to show you my top tips for making a successful career transition in your 30s. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more insights on how to grow your career, and please hit that bell to be notified when we publish a new video every Tuesday. I've made 2 successful career transitions in the past 6 years, going from TV production into financial services and insurance, and ultimately ending up in tech a little over 3 years ago. Here are my top tips for making a really smooth career transition. Tip number 1 is to know your skills. You've spent enough time in your career to know what it is you're good at and where your weaknesses lie. If you haven't really done any kind of introspective work before, then this is your time to take stock and look at the work that you do and what it is you enjoy the most and that you're good at, and which aspects of your work that you struggle a little bit with that you may need to upskill before you transition into a new role. Be sure to research the roles that you're thinking about entering and make sure that they play to your strengths. Tip number 2 is to look at what skills you want to develop. This is a key question that you need to ask yourself. It's not so much about what your strengths and weaknesses are only, but looking at what you actually want to do. What are the skills that you want to develop to help you progress in your career? This is something that you need to take into account when you're looking for new roles that you may want to transition into. Tip number 3 is to know where you're going. Once you've done some of this research, you're going to start to figure out what type of roles you really want to go after. When it comes to that point, you want to get super specific on the role that you want to transition into. Not only the roles, but looking at the companies and industry sectors you want to get into. Get specific on where you want to end up. It'll make it so much easier for you to put together a plan on how to get there and use your network for help to make the move. Here's a quick question for you. Is there a career that you've always dreamed of having but always felt that it was out of your reach? Let me know in the comments below. Tip number 4 is to test the waters with side projects. I can't stress how important and valuable this step is. It not only helps you to build up the skills necessary to make it a smooth transition, but will actually help you experience what it's like to fulfill that role and give you the chance to really get a lay of the land and first-hand experience of how you're going to cut it in that new role. Side projects are the best way for you to upskill the skills that you're lacking in for this new role, and also give you the experience you need to make it easier to make the transition and prove to your future employers that you have what it takes to excel at the role. One final tip is to think beyond the role when it comes to making your career transition. You want to look at things beyond the job title, industry sector, and company. What you valued in your 20s in terms of company structure, culture, and perks is going to differ to what you value now in your 30s. For example, if you are thinking about starting a family or you already have a family, then the company culture that you want to be going into is probably going to be something that has a little bit more work-life balance, maybe a little less travel if that's something you've been doing up until now, and any other perks where you feel a little bit more comfortable and are better suited to where you are now versus where you were 5 years ago or when you first started out in your career. When you have a growing family, something like insurance for your partner and dependents is going to be a lot more important than when you were first starting out in your career and only had to worry about yourself. There you have it, my top 5 tips for making a successful career transition in your 30s. That's it for today. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more insights on your career, and I'll see you in the next video.